Man, it's not about the fighter. Never is it? You know, but poor old Joe. They've done him a raw deal, I think. But I say it was them truthful. They should have had more brains. It was a fucking pathetic move. It really was.
My dad he's got his own opinions, and he probably doesn't want his son to box to risk getting hurt or injured. So it's a concerned parent, and you know, I respect his opinion.
And how long will you give Joshua?
I don't want to put no deadlines on. I'm not interested in all that. He either wants to do it or he doesn't. It is what it is. Like I said earlier, if they want to fight, they'll fight. If they don't, they don't. There's not much I can do about it. Now or never, isn't it, really? When is it going to be happening? This year, next year, 27, 29? When we're 45 each, I don't know.
No, I didn't want him to come back, but he wanted to, and I support him 100 million%. He's trained perfectly well for 3 months for this fight, and all he could do was do the best he could.
Do you want your son to return, and do you think he will?
No, I don't want him to return. He's done enough, and I don't want him going. I don't want to see my son.
John Fury blasts Tyson Fury. After Anthony Joshua call-out following Makhmudov win, John Fury has hit out at Tyson Fury's performance, questioning his sharpness and discipline after a shaky display, while also criticizing him for immediately calling out Anthony Joshua instead of focusing on improvements, saying the timing and mindset look completely wrong altogether now.
It was a fucking pathetic move. It really was. You know, because if it was me, I'd say, right, we're going to get a world title shot. We'll just take over. We'll get this. You might not get the same amount of money, but you're going to get the win. The big money will come. The big money ain't going to fucking come now. And you ain't got big money for that. What I call big money anyway. But listen, it is what it is.
The one thing I do know is I really enjoyed myself tonight, and I was so happy to be back. And now I know why I returned, because I just fucking love it. Yeah. I love it. I love going out. I love the reception. I love the dancing on the stage, the fireworks. It was just an unbelievable experience. And to be away from here for 4 years, to come back to that, what a welcome home present that was.
Paris Fury's comments reflect the emotional truth behind Tyson Fury's comeback. She supports him completely, but still admits there were nasty bits in the performance. In reality, Fury didn't look at his best against Makhmudov. Although he won, his display lacked sharpness and dominance, appearing a bit scrappy and below his usual elite standards.
There was a few little nasty bits, but it's a very, very great thing to see your person you love do what you love.
Duke McKenzie explains that Tyson Fury's immediate call-out of Anthony Joshua felt more like promotion than dominance, especially after a performance that didn't fully convince everyone. Fury tried to create hype and tension, but many felt he didn't look sharp enough in the ring to justify such loud claims. Meanwhile, Joshua stayed composed and refused to get dragged into the drama, showing confidence without reacting to the noise. Overall, it was less about performance brilliance and more about building headlines.
Immediately after the fight. Now, AJ's response was, well, I'm not playing your game. I'm not going to jump in the ring. I'm not going to start bad-mouthing you, and you're not going to start pushing me around. You know, AJ's his own man, ultimately, as is Fury. Fury did it his way, where he thought he could incite a little bit of tension and make everybody start sitting up and believe that he actually meant business because he wants to fight AJ. I believe he wants to fight AJ because he knows now.
Tyson Fury's words show how fixated he is on the Anthony Joshua fight, almost ignoring the rest of the division. He claims he doesn't care about rankings, belts, or other fighters, which comes off as emotional rather than focused. After a performance that wasn't fully convincing, his big talk feels louder than his actual in-ring display.
If it ain't Anthony Joshua next, I'm not interested in boxing. I'll eat 1,000 Easter eggs, go up to 35 stone, I'm out. I'm not interested. It's either him or I'm gone again. I'm not interested at all. I'm not interested in up-and-comers. I'm not interested in someone trying to prove a point over me. I don't care. I don't care about rankings. I don't care about belts. I only care now about AJ. That fight. That's the defining fight for
Tyson's done his bit, hasn't he? You know, but again, you know, with Tyson, it don't sit well because there's an...
Carl Froch suggests Tyson Fury has done enough in his last outing to build momentum for an Anthony Joshua clash, but also hints the fight wasn't truly explosive or memorable. He acknowledges Fury got rounds and respect, yet still implies AJ hasn't fully committed. Overall, it feels like hype building more than elite level dominance from Fury.
The person that don't want that fight, or sounded like they didn't want the fight, was Anthony Joshua. Talking about not stealing his thunder or whatever. I think the fight's going to happen. I think the fight is happening, and we're all looking forward to it. But Tyson Fury deserves respect. deserves credit. And yeah, we've got to acknowledge that he's just had a solid 12 rounds against a game opponent, and he got some good work in there, and that will set him up for the Anthony Joshua fight. And I'd like to see these two come together a little bit and just be face to face, up close and personal. Then you know it.
Eddie Hearn fires back at claims that Anthony Joshua is terrified, calling it nonsense and defending AJ's position. He suggests Fury controls the narrative, but hasn't proven anything fully in the ring recently. Hearn also points out that the energy around Fury's performance wasn't as strong as expected, especially among fans leaving the arena.
AJ called him the landlord in there. Is he just sick of the years of back and forth at this point?
Because he wants to call the shots, Fury. He always has done. And that's why the fight never happened. So AJ's just saying, look, you need me, you're calling me, and you'll get me. Yeah, the fight, very confident the fight will happen, but at the moment, nothing signed.
Fury said AJ's terrified. Obviously you don't agree, but yeah, what do you make of that?
Terrified of what? That tonight?
Yeah.
You think you'd be terrified of that? Come on. Even Fury fans, as I was walking out tonight, not the same energy. They know.
Derek Chisora brutally criticizes the fight quality, saying it was boring and lacking excitement, and questions why Fury is even calling out Anthony Joshua after such a performance. He believes AJ would dominate him easily and feels Fury should calm down. His tone is harsh, suggesting Fury didn't impress enough to demand big fights.
My fight, nobody sat the fuck down. Everybody was buzzing. His fight, we fucking fell asleep. He cannot give us any... I don't even know why he's calling out AJ. AJ will fucking smoke him. He needs to relax when I call shout out. That fight was shit.
Shane Fury gives a balanced take on the potential fight, suggesting the odds have now evened out between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua due to age and time out of the ring. He still slightly favors Tyson, but admits it's a close, unpredictable matchup. The tone reflects uncertainty rather than dominance, hinting that neither fighter is at their absolute peak anymore, making the clash more about timing, conditioning, and who has declined less rather than pure superiority.
Me 5 or 6 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, however long it would have been, it'd have been 75-25 Tyson. Now it evens up. The odds has evened up. I reckon I'd favour Tyson, but it's a close one. Both men's aged. It's just who's aged most.
Tommy Fury criticizes Anthony Joshua for not simply accepting the fight call-out, suggesting he made things unnecessarily complicated. He believes Tyson Fury has already put the pressure on, and now it's all on AJ's side. However, this also highlights the ongoing narrative of hesitation versus hype, where both camps blame each other. The commentary adds fuel to the debate, but also reflects frustration that such a massive fight still hasn't been made despite constant public demand.
I don't know. I feel like all AJ had to say was, I accept. But he was going around the houses like too much. I don't know, it just didn't really make sense. Literally, all he had to say was, I accept, I'll see you soon. But I don't know, Tyson put the ball in his court, so it's all on his terms. Now Tyson's ready to go.
Adam Smith points out that talks around Fury versus Joshua were expected to progress quickly after recent events, but uncertainty still remains over whether both fighters are fully signed. While there is strong belief the fight will happen, the lack of confirmation keeps everything in limbo. It highlights how even when hype is huge and expectations are high, negotiations in boxing still slow things down, leaving fans waiting despite constant build-up and speculation from promoters.
As I said, I thought that the fight would be certainly teased, if not agreed, in the ring afterwards for September. That's what I've been hearing. But yeah, we heard in the press conference Tyson Fury signed, and maybe...
Frank Warren strongly pushes the idea that the fight must happen next, emphasizing fan demand and Tyson Fury's direct call-out of Anthony Joshua. He questions why AJ didn't immediately respond in the ring, suggesting hesitation. His tone reflects urgency and frustration, reinforcing that this is the fight everyone wants. However, it also shows how promotional pressure is being used to force momentum, even though neither side has officially finalized the deal yet.
10 years is gone, let's talk about today. What did you just see?
Tyson called him out.
There
AJ didn't get up in the ring. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, you've got to ask him that. It doesn't matter. What he needs to do is get in the ring with him next. That's what everybody wants to see. Did you hear everybody? They all want to see the fight.
We want to see the
whole
fight.
Nation wants to see.
Sugar Hill and Joseph Parker highlight how the Fury versus Joshua fight has been talked about for nearly a decade, yet still hasn't happened, which builds frustration among fighters and fans alike. They both agree Tyson Fury created a perfect moment by calling AJ out, but the real question is why Joshua didn't step forward immediately in the ring. However, Sugar Hill also brings balance, reminding everyone that AJ has been through personal challenges and deserves respect for his timing and decisions. Overall, the discussion reflects a mix of pressure, patience, and unfinished business, where hype is high, but the fight is still stuck in uncertainty and negotiation.
Wait for it to happen. I mean, it's been talked about for the last 10 years, and Tyson said what he said tonight and gave him the opportunity to answer back. I'm not sure why. It would have been nice to see them in the ring to face off, So I guess as fighters, it would have been
nice just to say yes.
Or say yes, yeah.
But listen, Anthony Joshua's been through something, and that has to be respected as well. When he feels like he's ready, then he'll say something. Hopefully, or whatever. Or if he doesn't, he doesn't. I mean, it's just life.
Spencer Brown breaks down the potential Fury versus Joshua matchup by comparing it with other heavyweight styles, suggesting AJ has power but may not find Fury as easy to hit. He emphasizes that this is not a simple stylistic clash, but a completely different physical and tactical battle. While he still slightly leans towards Tyson Fury winning the confrontation, he also acknowledges that it would be competitive and not one-sided. However, the commentary feels very speculative, based more on theory than actual recent dominance, especially considering Fury's inconsistent performances. It adds hype, but also raises questions about whether either fighter is truly at their peak for such a huge showdown.
Does Anthony Joshua hit as hard as Makhmudov? Of course he does. But does he get to Tyson as easy? I don't think so.
Tyson said in the week he thinks AJ and Makhmudov will be a 50-50
It's two different. You've got to remember, it's a 50-50 fight. But you've got to remember this. AJ's not a wrestler, so it's going to be easy to catch the Makhmudov. I'm telling you, it'll be a totally different fight, total different physical confrontation between those two, and I still think Tyson wins the confrontation.
Andy Lee describes Fury versus Joshua as a massive event for boxing, even suggesting it may have passed its absolute prime, but is still powerful enough to become a historic spectacle. He compares its scale to major Mike Tyson events, showing how big the global interest would be regardless of timing. While both fighters are still highly respected, there's an underlying concern that the fight may have been more impactful years earlier. Still, the emotional and commercial value remains extremely high. Overall, it's less about perfect timing now and more about delivering a long-awaited mega fight that fans have been demanding for years.
I think it's a great fight for boxing and for fans. I don't think even man really needs it now. But it's been so long going on. Is it past sell-by date? Probably, but still, it's going to be the biggest. Look how big any Mike Tyson event is, even though how old it, so people are going to get behind it. And it will be a fight for the ages in terms of an event and in terms of the two guys fighting each other. They're both great fighters.
Frank Warren strongly pushes the idea that Tyson Fury has done everything needed by calling out Anthony Joshua, and now the responsibility lies on AJ to respond. He frames it as pure promotion and entertainment, suggesting Fury has created the perfect moment to build the fight. However, there is also clear frustration in his tone, questioning why Joshua didn't immediately engage in the ring. While he insists the fight is inevitable, the reality is that nothing is officially signed yet. Overall, it reflects the ongoing boxing narrative of hype versus reality, where public pressure is high, but negotiations still remain uncertain behind the scenes.
Wouldn't it? So it's up to him. Tyson's signed, he's up for it, and he's ready to go.
When it comes to call-outs, that was quite an epic call-out by Tyson Fury. What did you make of it?
But AJ's here. I mean, he's come to watch it, and that's an appropriate moment to do that. This is called promotion. That's what it's all about. And Tyson called him out, and he either wants to do it or he don't want to do it. So one way or another, we'll find out very soon.
Tommy Fury expresses hope that the Anthony Joshua fight finally happens, but also makes it clear that the responsibility is now in AJ's corner. His tone shows confidence that Tyson Fury is ready and willing, while subtly suggesting that delays are coming from Joshua's side. He emphasizes that this is the fight everyone wants and it should not be delayed any longer. However, beneath the optimism, there is still frustration in the boxing world, because despite constant talk, nothing has been officially agreed. Overall, it reflects the ongoing pressure on AJ to accept and finalize the bout, while the hype around Fury continues to grow.
I mean, I hope so, but you know, it is what it is. It's in AJ's corner now, so we're ready to go, we're ready to get in there, and I don't know, hopefully AJ's too, because that is the fight everyone wants to see, and we don't want to leave it any longer.
Spencer Brown strongly insists that the Fury versus Joshua fight will definitely happen this year, describing it as something already in the making. He hints at major backing and media involvement, even mentioning big platforms like Netflix, which adds to the hype and commercial scale of the event. However, his comments also feel vague and promotional rather than concrete, as he avoids confirming real contractual details. This creates a mix of excitement and uncertainty, where fans are encouraged to believe the fight is imminent but still have no official confirmation. Overall, it highlights how heavily this matchup is being marketed even before final agreements are publicly confirmed.
Because I know the fight will happen.
Definitely, this year.
Yeah, you know, we're just baking the cake. It's going to happen.
Turkey.
You know what Tyson said? He just told you.
But Turkey suggested that it was going to be announced tonight, so is there a deal in place?
Oh, that's Turkey's business, isn't it? Not mine. But yeah, there's a lot I know, a lot I can't divulge, but I'm just going to say that this fight is going to happen. And the man behind it is Turkey Al-Sheikh, and the company behind it will be Netflix.
In conclusion, the build-up around Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua continues to grow, but the situation is still filled with hype, speculation, and unfinished negotiations. Every voice from promoters, fighters, and analysts pushes the narrative that this mega fight is close, yet nothing is officially locked in. Fury's callouts, AJ's cautious responses, and constant media pressure have kept fans engaged for years, but also frustrated due to repeated delays. Both fighters remain huge names in boxing, but questions still remain about timing, motivation, and whether the fight will finally happen at the peak moment. Now it's your turn. Do you still believe Fury versus Joshua will actually happen, or is it just another boxing dream that keeps getting delayed? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit like if you want the fight next, and subscribe for more heavyweight updates and breakdowns.